us. Thank you guys for coming out. This Davis Avenue Bridge reconstruction project aims to reconnect the Brighton Heights neighborhood to Riverview Park. The previous bridge, constructed in 1898, was a pin-connected cantilever deck truss and featured ingenuity for its day. However, the bridge lacked modern insight into necessary safety and maintenance features and had limited capacity for heavy loaded vehicles. Ultimately, the bridge was demolished by the city in 2009. Now, to talk about the reconstruction of this bridge with the reconnection is DOMI project manager, Zach Workman. Zach?
Thank you all so much for coming out. This is a really exciting moment for me, for the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure, or DOMI, and for the City of Pittsburgh. As was mentioned, the previous bridge here, constructed in the 1800s. I'm reading about it. It was closed to vehicles in 2001, based on just the original design capacity and deterioration over the decades. It served as a pedestrian bridge for another 8 years, connecting the neighborhood to the park. And inspectors in 2009 raised some immediate concerns about the stability of the structure. And I gather, I didn't live in Pittsburgh at the time, but I gathered that almost overnight, a demolition of the bridge was scheduled, and it left kind of a gap in the neighborhood. I think ever since then, I moved to the city in 2015. It's been great to make Pittsburgh home, and to learn about all the neighborhoods and the parks that are enmeshed in the neighborhoods. I gather that Brighton Heights and Marshall Shadeland and the other surrounding communities have always missed this connection. And so there's been really strong advocacy to see a connection rebuilt. So I can remember biking up here before I was a city employee, before I knew much better, trying to get myself to Riverview Park and discovering that, well, what used to be a road, now there's just a bridge closed sign. And if you look, there is no bridge. So to say it's closed is a little bit of not quite an exaggeration. So I think when I started the city, we had just recently gotten some new tools in our chest for working with consultants in kind of an efficient way to take on these kinds of design projects, see what was feasible. But really, DOMI was a very new department at the time. We had limited resources, limited staffing. A lot of the managers in the department were generally really young, and we're just looking to improve our neighborhoods, improve the city of Pittsburgh. This is all, as this is in 2019, the department gets a grant from the county game and development to begin studying a bridge replacement project. And so we started putting together the pieces of how we're going to get this done. In 2020, of course, we all had to upend our lives and cope with the pandemic, and projects, keeping our projects on track. There was a learning process, both doing these projects, which were new to us, and also adapting to a post-pandemic world. But we stayed the course. We made it through planning, design, engineering. We've made it. We stayed on track, and the final design played out through 2021, 2022. Of course, the department and City of Pittsburgh with the Fern Hollow Bridge in 2022 really put a focus on what it means for responsible investment and of course maintenance of our investments. And I think there was a moment where a project like this, there's question about, are we prepared to build new bridges essentially when we have so many bridges that need urgent care? But I think it's important to remember that this had been a connection for over 100 years, and the community had built up its reliance, and so when you take those connections away, something is lost. So what we're here to now is to hopefully bring that back and both bring new faces to Riverview Park and help the neighborhoods with their access. So I just want to say that we're really appreciative of all the support we've gotten, both myself from the department as we've grown and figured out how to do these kinds of projects, support from across the city. A lot of our bridge projects in the region have support from the DOT, but this is generally, this is a city-led project right here. So this is, our own sweat and tears and muscle going into it. So everyone who's come out today, we really appreciate everyone who's contributed something to making this project a reality. And thank you to the design team with HTV, and the construction team with Gregory Construction, and our inspection services with Michael Baker. And just want to say thank you to the community groups, both Friends of Riverview Park, Brighton Heights Citizens Federation. It takes a village to make these projects a reality. So thank you so much for getting us to this exciting moment. And I feel the rain coming, so I'll keep moving. But just want to reiterate, we're here at a groundbreaking. The goal is to basically be back here before the end of the year for so we can start walking across this new bridge. So with that,
as Zach stated, the new Davis Avenue Bridge will function as a bike and pedestrian bridge and will utilize modern engineering design, materials, and insights while bringing the aesthetics established by the prior bridge back. And we need to thank the Gregory Construction, Michael Baker International, and HNTB Design for helping to get that construction in that manner. Now, to talk more about the importance of the bridge is Mark Madison, Friends of Riverview Park. Mark?
So I want to welcome everybody today. My name is Mark Masterson. I'm chairperson of the Friends of Riverview Park. It's an all-volunteer group. This has been something that we've been advocating for and working on since the group came together back in 2016. Riverview Park has a lot of issues that we're trying to work on, but one of the biggest issues is that it really lacks connections to surrounding neighborhoods. When this bridge was torn down, this is one of three main entrances into the park, and we were now down to two. And usage declined, and there were other terrible effects for the park and for the neighborhood across the valley, Brighton Heights. So we're really excited that this project is happening. It's bringing back a connection. It's going to be a beautiful bridge and a beautiful entry into the park. I also want to thank some folks that were really key in helping us to get to this day. First, Mayor Gainey, we really appreciate the work that you've done to help support this. Councilman Wilson, through thick and thin, and when worries about is there going to be, did we get it into the capital budget? You've always been there to help us. I'd like to thank Senator Wayne Fontana, our state senator, who helped get the money that came through the County Redevelopment Authority that came out of the State Department of Community Economic Development. I'd like to also thank Emily Kinkeet, our state representative, who helped make sure that that stuff stayed on track. And I'd also like to thank Zach Workman and the staff at DOMI. You guys have been troopers through all of this. We do appreciate you. It's not often that you guys get thanked for anything, but we really do appreciate your hard work. And I'd like to thank Aaron Tobin and the Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy. Without Aaron's hard work to keep Friends Riverview Park organized, we would not be here. We wouldn't be standing here today. And finally, I'd like to thank Ray Meyer, who has, before the bridge was torn down, was advocating to try to get this connection, to keep it and then to replace it. And that's going back, almost 2 decades. When the bridge was first, we knew it was in danger. I'm really looking forward to riding and walking across this bridge, and I hope we can all come back sometime this fall, hopefully, for a ribbon cutting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Now, the engineering for the new bridge was completed in spring of 2023, and construction contract was secured in fall of 2023. Now, DOMI is working with the contractor regarding the material procurement and the foot traffic, as Mark stated, hopefully ribbon cutting fall of 2024. That is the aim. Now, we've heard from the project manager, we have heard from the Friends of Riverview Park, but now we will hear from a resident of Brighton Heights who is impacted by this bridge, Christopher McTaggart.
No, it's gonna rain here, so I'll keep this very brief. I do live over on the other side of the bridge in Brighton Heights, and I spend a lot of time in this park. This is my favorite park in the city, by far. Being able to come over the bridge that we're all gonna come back for the ribbon cutting is gonna be amazing. It's going to make lives better for all of the surrounding communities that are a little bit disconnected right now. And I just wanted to thank everyone involved for the urgency and priority put on this project. Honestly, when I was told a couple of weeks ago they were doing the groundbreaking today, I did not think it was at all possible that they were talking about this bridge here. And so whatever you guys did to get this done in this amount of time that you did, very much appreciated, and I thank you all for it.
Thank you, Christopher. Now, State Rep Emily Kinkeet.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. As also a resident of Brighton Heights, I'm incredibly happy to see that this is finally going to reconnect the largest neighborhood in the north side with the largest park in the north side. For far too long, residents of Brighton Heights have been able to throw a rock across and hit Riverview Park, but couldn't actually walk across and come to Riverview Park. And I think that especially during the pandemic, when we saw that outdoor recreation became so much more important in everyday life, in mental health, in community connectedness, the barrier that existed between connecting the citizens of Brighton Heights to Riverview Park was just that much more pronounced and that much more egregious. And when I was door knocking for my first election, I'm knocking my own neighborhood, and the number one thing that I heard at the doors was, we need the Davis Avenue Bridge back. And the opinions varied as to whether or not it should be a car bridge or a walking bridge, but it was consistent that we need that connection back to Riverview Park. And so I am excited that some of the first money that I was able to secure as a state representative was towards rebuilding this bridge. And just am so thrilled, and I know that my dog Una will be as well, to actually be able to come and walk back across to Riverview Park in sometime under 45 minutes and take advantage of this beautiful space with all of you guys. And so I'm incredibly grateful to my partnership with Councilman Wilson, with the mayor, and just making sure that we are prioritizing the needs of our neighbors, to make sure that the things that really help us, that connect us as a community, are what we're working on every day. So thank you.
Next is City Council Person Bobby Wilson.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for being here. I have to be honest, I searched my inbox so I knew which side of the bridge to come on, or what side, the abutment, I guess we call it. We are on the east abutment here. But when I searched my inbox, there were several emails that reminded me of all the different conversations that have happened about getting this project done into this point. And I know Northsiders and Pittsburghers sometimes don't believe that it's going to happen until we actually like put a shovel in the ground. So I started getting some calls this past week saying, Bobby, there's rebar. They're setting up, they're staging everything for the construction. And that's very exciting because this is over a decade in the making. And everyone remembers when it was, reduced to just, biking and walking on the bridge previously, because it was a vehicular bridge. And then it was demolished or blown up, and that caused a lot of chaos as well. But now we're back here to actually put the structure back in a really new, revitalized way. So not only are we going to make it only a walking and biking bridge, but we're also gonna, fix up the entrances through public art and also on the bridge, and all these different, this area should look a lot nicer in the future. So it's more than just even the bridge. They're tying the bridge to, the largest neighborhood on the north side. So we have the biggest park here. We're gonna have a nice entrance here. On the other side, another nice entrance. Everyone can enjoy both sides of it. But I think the most important part is that we can definitely look back and see all the work that's been done. I can continue to search my inbox. But what will be everlasting is to know that Friends of Riverview Park, Mark Masterson, and everyone that you bring together for Friends of Riverview Park, Aaron Tobin, all the work that you do for Riverview, and make sure that you continue to put this bridge on the map, this bridge project on the map. The Brighton Heights neighborhood group, that's Joe Glassburner's here. I know, appreciate all your work, making sure that this is always an item on the agenda, because it's important to keep us politicians on track of what we need to do, because we really just want to provide for the neighborhoods. And when we can stand here at this groundbreaking and do this, it's phenomenal. I have some thank yous. First, I want to thank the mayor. It's great partnership whenever going into a meeting that Domi is going to have to talk about the funding of the bridge, and that there is a gap to fill, and everyone gasps at the sound of there's some money that still has to be put into the budget to make this project happen. That I could confidently say that I'm going to work with the administration and get it done, and that we're working together to make sure this is going to happen. I have to thank our state, whether it's the senator that help with this funding, and then Emily as well, State Representative Emily Kincaid, to make sure that it was coming in, and you secured that funding as well. We can't do it alone. You see how it takes multiple partners to get a project done. So it takes a community, it takes at the state level, the local level, and then we have to execute it. So we rely on our great Department of Mobility and Infrastructure, DOMI, as we say. So I want to thank Director Kim Lucas for making sure this is a priority. Let's give a hand to our wonderful department. And then also the contractor. So I know Domi will be working hand in hand with the contractor. Contractor's Michael Baker. Looking forward to the great work. I've stood on a couple other bridges on the north side, and I know that they were at least part of one of them where they got the job done, and it was phenomenal. But this just isn't any bridge. So really looking forward to connecting neighborhoods to parks, because this bridge is unique. It's been a while since we haven't just repaired a bridge, but actually built a new bridge. I know that's not completely true, but You know, there's, you know,
That was what planned.
yeah. I'm not gonna bring that up, but, you get my point, right? This is a very important time where we're actually methodically trying to connect everyone, all of our neighbors back to this park. So thank you again. Thank everyone for being here. I'm looking forward to getting it done.
Thank you, Councilperson Wilson. Now, as stated and restated, this is the reconstruction of a critical piece of new infrastructure in the northern hilltop neighborhoods. And to celebrate that, I would like to bring up the mayor of Pittsburgh, Mayor Ed Gainey.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How you doing today? Somebody hanging in there? Huh? I was gonna say it's a beautiful day, but it is beautiful because it's warm out here. And at the end of the day, not only is it warm, we're getting ready to open up a bridge that was long overdue. So that, regardless of the rain, makes it a beautiful day. I also want to take a moment to thank Domi. Kim and Zach, can you come on up for a minute? Can you come on up, Kim and Zach? Get around where. I want to make sure I say thank you because a lot of times the ones that do the work don't get recognized. And I want to make sure I recognize the ones that's done the work. Director Kim, I want to say thank you. Zach, I want to say thank you. I appreciate it. Can y'all get in my hand? I also want to make sure that I thank Mark and his team. Mark, where your team at? Because y'all call every day, huh? Mark, where's your team at? Where's your team? And the rest of Mark's team, come on up. I just want to thank them personally. Can you come on up for a minute? Where they at? Where they at? Come on, Ray. I know 20 years ago, Ray, you'd be moving down at it. You know, I also want to take a moment to thank the elected officials, Wayne Fontana, the Senator Fontana. He's not here, but for him being instrumental in all that he did to get this to the budget, I want to say thank you. Also, I want to thank State Representative Emily Kincaid and Councilman Bobby Wilson. Can y'all come on up? I also want to thank Michael Baker. Like Michael Baker, I thank y'all at least once a month on a project or the type of stuff that y'all do to help people have coats in the wintertime. I'm just thrilled to continue to say Michael Baker's name. Can you come on up? All the people with Michael Baker, can you come on up? Y'all don't know, Michael Baker do a lot in this city, a lot, a lot. The reason why I brought them all up is because I wanted to show one thing. Councilman Wilson alluded to it, and I wanted you to see. This is what it takes to do a project. This is what it takes to build a city. Without the help of everybody in here right now, we couldn't be here today. And so I needed you to see exactly how development really works. And sometimes I know it takes long, trust me. But because of the infrastructure, because of where we're located geographically, sometimes things happen and it takes a long time. But when you have a team that really wants to happen, that really wants the project to happen, like you have behind me today, this is why it's a great day for this city. This bridge in 1898, while it was an amazing bridge, had some problems. And our number one goal in this city is to make sure that our infrastructure is safe. We want to make sure that our infrastructure is safe all the time. For the people that live here, for the people that come to the park just to enjoy themselves, for the people that work here, to people that play here, that pray here, we want to make sure our infrastructure on every side of the city is extremely safe. And that's why our bridge asset management program is such an important part of making sure that an infrastructure never looks like the Fern Hollow Bridge again. We don't never want to wake up to that. And that's why we take the inspections of bridge and prioritize them so seriously. Right now, people that used to would take about an hour to get into this park, right from this community, no longer had that problem. Now they will be able soon to just walk across and enjoy it. And that's what we want. I call our parks heaven, because at the end of the day, this is where you come to get serenity. This is where you come to get public health. Just walking through a park does something to your spirit. So I call our parks heaven, and we got a lot of heavens in this city. And so going forward, I look forward to coming back out here and breaking ground with everybody and being able to walk across this bridge. But I want to close with this, and I want to say it again. I know it's taken about 15 years, But what I've learned about time, don't give me a microwave meal. Give me a development that will stand the test of time and be able to be here to ensure that the people of this community can enjoy it for the next 50, 100 years. Congratulations. And I'm so proud of this neighborhood. God bless you.
As you guys notice, this is all concrete, but we are going to have a symbolic digging of the shovels, more so of holding the shovels because we cannot dig in front because it is cement. So we're going to pass out the shovels, they'll come out in front, and we will have the symbolic digging of the breaking for the project.
Thank you.
Can I have you guys up in front, please?
Come on, B.
And as you guys can see, this is the depiction of what it will look like upon completion. Kim? Oh, there's more. Michael?
Again, I want to congratulate Domi. This is well done.
Come on. Oh.
Well done.
Everybody there? Okay.
We're gonna act like we're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why we get a little bit of dirt? Why we go get a little bit of that dirt now? Like we got some dirt on
You do it right there.
Yeah, let's go get some dirt. So I'll make it look close.
There's so much. Yeah.
They were groundbreaking with no dirt. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Kim, did you get some mud?
Yeah.
Hold on, sir.
Yes.
Hold on.
There we go. Huh?
You gotta put it back.
Hang on.
Yeah, I know, like, it's not structural mud, is it? All right.
Now look, we know we got cameramen in front of us. Let's not throw them too far now. Huh?
In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
All right. Hold it, guys, for the photographers to take the pictures. All smiling.
You come over, Marcel. Will you center it? Take a picture, Marcel.
You playing Jeopardy? Hold on. Yes. Jeopardy.
Bang, bang. Yep. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming out.